Hey, good evening, race fans, and welcome back to another Inside edition of the Voice of Victory Lane podcast with Kip Thompson. Hope everyone's had a great day. Hope everyone had a great weekend. And I tell you, I had a ball this weekend. And if you were not at the Fayetteville Motor Speedway, you missed out. We're going to get into that in just a few seconds. But as always, when we start our shows, we want to thank our show sponsor, Raging Rooster Catering out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Tony and Bobby Jackson do a phenomenal job with their catering business. They will come to your event with a group of 30 people or more, and they'll show up with a really, really great menu, a lot of items, and those guys just do a phenomenal job. And they're big supporters of dirt track racing. They do a lot of work in the community. They're just great people to know, proud to call them friends, and we're super proud to have them the sponsor of our show. To find out more information about Raging Rooster Catering, visit them on their Facebook page, Raging Rooster Catering. You'll find their email address, and you'll also find their telephone number. Reach out to them today, and they will take good care of you, I promise. So we're going to jump right into the show tonight, and we are super excited to have as a first-time guest on our show. He is no stranger to the Fayetteville Motor Speedway, Lakeview area. Just a great young man, great driver who did a phenomenal job this weekend in the INEX Dirt Nationals in the Legends division and series at the Fayetteville Motor Speedway. Tonight, we want to welcome on the show out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, driver the number 93 602 Sport Mod, and also the driver the number 93 602 Crate Late Model, my friend Donovan Jackson. Donovan, hey man, welcome to the show.
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
Hey man, we're just working, man, having a good time, talking about racing, going to racetracks, and just living it up and having a good time. And man, I just gotta go ahead and jump right to it. The U.S. International Legends Dirt Nationals took place this weekend inside the Fayetteville Motor Speedway. And it was just an action-packed weekend. People stuck it out. Rain came in, 4.5 inches of rain in a 36-hour time period. It kind of caused a little bit of havoc on the racetrack, but Dave Mitchell and the guys there did everything that they possibly could to get this event in. Saturday night, things on the racetrack, were a little dicey, but hey, everybody had to run on it. People stayed around, and Sunday, man, it was a phenomenal show. And I'll tell you, Donovan, I actually went down on Thursday, and I didn't have any idea that I would see you there. And I was walking down where they were checking the cars and doing safety inspection. And there you are with a 112 car of 316 Motorsports. Kind of surprised me. Not that I didn't think you could drive a legend car. You can drive anything you get in, obviously. But how did that deal with 316 Motorsports come together?
I've been friends with Willie for a few years now. I've raced legends, I think 2 or 3 times at Rockfish, and once when Fayetteville was big. And then Willie reached out to me and asked if I could be a part of his team for this Winter Nationals gig. I was like, sure, yeah. It's been a long time, but I'm down to try it.
Well, I knew without a shadow of a doubt, whenever you guys started, going out for hot laps and doing your practice session, I knew it may take you a moment or two because, it's got to be kind of hard. I mean, it just shows what a talented driver you are because, I've known you now driving mod lights, which you still do mod lights from time to time whenever they have a big event over at the Rockfish Speedway. Enjoyed watching you there a couple of times this year. I see you every Saturday night at Fayetteville, hop out of one car into another car, another style car. You got the 602 Sport Mod, then you got the Crate Late Model. And then to see you jump into a legend car this weekend. And not only did you jump in to a legend car, you jumped in a legend car for the U.S. National Championship for the legends. And so I know there's got to be a real big difference in all the types of cars you drive because on any given night at a racetrack, man, you wear a lot of different hats.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty tough to transition like from jumping out of a modified one week and then get into a mod light or a legend or even a late model. But I've always wanted to challenge myself with endurance and just, anything I can to just continue to keep challenging myself to be successful. So it's been pretty fun this year.
Well, you've had a great year, and you really do so well with the 602 Sport Mod. Always, I remember you and your buddy Dustin. Phenomenal competitors. One finished first, one finished second, and they're hugging each other, in victory lane. Fierce competitors. And, I remember seeing you guys one night over there at Fayetteville for about 19 or 20 laps. Man, y'all were door to door, side to side. And it was just such a great deal to see two competitors, but we're like brothers slash best friends, congratulating each other. Talk about that night.
Oh man, that's something we had wanted to do since we were kids, playing cars in the dirt, And that night I said, man, we start on the front low. Let's try and, let's go out front and see if we can get both a 1 and 2 win. And then we took the green. Next thing you know, we're door to door. I said, let's try and make this a little bit of a show. And I mean, we're still pushing to try and win the race because we still have competition, not other than each other. And we went door to door each lap. And when I slid up out the groove one lap and he's on underneath me, I was like, okay, let's just keep going as far as we can, as long as we can. And it worked out. And that is probably one of the highlights of my racing career, racing door to door with him like that.
Well, I enjoyed that night. Obviously, I remember it because I sat there and stood and watched that race. And, man, what a show that was. But, that wasn't it. It was, kind of after the race, the family atmosphere that you see around racetracks. And, things get heated from time to time. But, I mean, you can tell that you guys genuinely have a love for each other. And that was a very, very special moment. I'm glad I was able to see that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a great show. So coming into this weekend, Saturday, as we say, the track was not in the best position, but Dave Mitchell did inform all of the drivers that, hey, the track's not that great. If you want to race, you can. If you don't, we're still going to have the big national championship deal on Sunday. Sunday, man, when you ran in the pros division, you and I were talking about it earlier today. Man, those last 8 or 9 laps were absolutely incredible. And as I stood there on Victory Lane, I started, and I wasn't shaking because I was cold. I was cold, but I was shaking because I was getting pumped up because, man, we're about to have a local driver here that's going to be really, really close to a podium finish, if not win the national championship. And, man, you guys really put on a show with the leader, and then you and Landon Lewis. It was just an incredible show to watch. And congratulations, man. Out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, we had one of our very own local guys from the Fayetteville Motor Speedway. Donovan Jackson brings home 3rd place in the pro division with the U.S. International INEX Legends Dirt National Championship at Fayetteville, man. Walk us through the second part of that race.
Oh man, the competition is tough in that class. Beginning of the race, I was trying to save my tires, but also be aggressive at the same time. And I was running for the lead. I was, trying to be aggressive, trying to make a pass. I couldn't make it work. I slid up through the groove. I fell to 3rd. And once that happened, I was like, well, let's go ahead and try to save my tires a little bit. And then, about maybe halfway, start pushing it again. And then maybe 12 laps ago, I started pushing it. I felt my right rear going away. So I can't ease up now. And I seen the second place man kind of rub the first place. I said that all it takes is them to have a mistake now. And I was just trying to hold the bottom, keep from 4th place man getting by me because I felt my right rear going away. So it's tough. It's definitely tough. And that was the first weekend out with that car.
Well, first weekend out with the car, not too bad. We applaud you because, I was wondering what the deal was with that because, when you tried to go for the lead, you went down on the bottom of the racetrack and from where people are staying, you can't really see. Nobody sees it any better than you and the driver beside you. Like you guys may have rubbed there just a little bit, but you were on the inside, the bottom part of the racetrack there trying to make your move. And I noticed after that restart, because actually, like you almost did fall back to 4th, and then you got back up to 3rd, then you went to 2nd, then you went back to 3rd, and it looked like maybe you didn't have that bite to where you could get down on the bottom and stay there. Is that when the tire started going away and you could feel it?
It was funny because when I was trying to chase for the lead, we did touch a little bit. I was coming on the bottom, I had to run, and as soon as he felt me, he kind of pulled down in front of me, which just shut the door, racing. But if I moved up half a car in the racetrack, the car didn't feel as good. In the beginning of the race, I was running towards the middle of the racetrack, or middle of the groove, and it was working. And then I got passed on the inside, so I'll go ahead and try the bottom. And when I tried the bottom, I passed him back for 2nd place. And when I'd push a little bit extra to try and get a run closer to them, I would feel it go away and start sliding. I was like, well, that little bit of mistake is almost a whole lap of momentum gone. So my goal was just trying to make as less mistakes as possible.
Well, you did a phenomenal job. It was a great race. All the divisions, man, all of it was great from from the young lions to the semi-pros. The Masters race was good, but I'm going to tell you now, there's a reason why they called that class that you were in the pro division, because I'm telling you, man, all the way around the racetrack, from the front to the back. I mean, at one time, when you look at the time trials, when people were hot lapping and qualifying, I mean, every single car was just so close. I mean, there's nobody that was like, man, gosh, he's way off, Everybody, it was really close. And, man, you got to say, that you ran this weekend inside the Fayetteville Motor Speedway with some of the best legend drivers in the country, no doubt.
For sure. And I want to say, I think the track record got broke 3 times, if I'm aware.
Well, I know someone said that a new track record was set, but I didn't get to see the number or who it was. But yeah, I heard a new track record was set for sure. So as we continue on throughout the show, I know you want to give a big shout out to probably a lot of people who have helped you along the way in your racing career. I know you probably want to, in your own way, thank 316 Motorsports. But first, before we get into those, as you recall me opening up our show, we always thank our show sponsor, Raging Rooster Catering, Tony and Bobby Jackson. And, before they got on board with us with what we're doing with our podcast, I know they've been a supporter of your program for a long time too. And man, you got to agree with me. Those guys are just awesome guys. Let's talk about Tony and Bobby Jackson and Raging Rooster Catering for a moment.
Absolutely. Bobby and Tony are like family to us. We met them back in 2016 when I first started getting my feet wet in Mod Lights. And we had a program going on. I met him. I was like, he's family. I can just feel the vibe. They're good people. I want to represent them as much as I can with utmost respect as I can.
Yeah, they're phenomenal people, man, and they have a love for racing. It just goes. It's not like this guy wants to come up to Fayetteville Motor Speedway and set up a food truck. He does that because that's one of the many businesses that he is involved in. But he's a race fan. He's a huge race fan, and you'll go around from track to track, and you'll see a Raging Rooster Catering decal on a car, on somebody's back glass. You'll go down to Rockfish and see it on some of the kids' cars. I mean, and those guys just do a phenomenal job, not only with their businesses, but they really, really go all out and help so many people, man, in the racing community. And I know I appreciate it. I know what they do for us for our podcast shows, and I salute Bobby Jackson every day. I talk to him, and I don't believe there's very many times that that I hang up with him without saying, "Hey, thanks for what you do for us." And he's just an awesome guy, Donovan.
Absolutely, good people.
Yeah, so we talk about Raging Rooster Catering, proud sponsor of the Voice of Victory Lane podcast. They sponsor Donovan Jackson in his racing career too. And let's let you give a shout out to a lot of the guys that on a weekly basis that are with you, working in the shop and, going back and forth to the racetrack with you, and maybe some other sponsors that you may have. Now would be a good time to maybe give them a shout out too.
I think my family, most of all. My dad, when he's in town, he helps me in the shop during the week. My buddy Gary, Josh Foster. There's so many different people that just help me here and there along the way. But Gary and Josh are there all the time, as much as they can. When their kids aren't racing at Rockfish, they're at Fayetteville helping me. Anything I need, it helps take a lot off my chest when it gets me, in the zone to be a better driver as well. My wife, my kids, everyone, Dustin Watkins, when he has a chance to help me, Ricky Chavis, he's also a sponsor. I wouldn't be able to do it without my sponsors. I mean, it's tough. I'm a state employee, but I wouldn't be able to do it without Baker Motorsports. They're a huge help. All-Star Home Improvement, Ricky Chavis, he's helped me. When I'm always in the crunch, he always seems to be there when I need him. CNT Equipment Transport, Tara and Carlos, they're a huge help. They're like family to me. I've known them since I was a kid. Certified Heating and Air Company, they've come along on this car this year. They've helped tremendously. Bobby Jackson and Tony Jackson, Raging Rooster Catering, and Bill with Rockfish Speedway, and Craig with Minster Motorsports. They come on this year, and he's helped a lot with shocks.
Oh yeah, well every one of those people that you named, I know who those people are, and yeah, man, you got a great group of people there. And it takes a village, man, to do what you guys do. I've said it before on our shows. I've been so guilty just as race fans You just go up to the racetrack and you sit down and you expect the cars to show up, man. They do. But, man, there's a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of midnight oil that is spent, in working on race cars. And I'll say it in this show, like I've said it in other shows before. And Donovan, I'll let you expound on it a little bit in your own way. I think that you'll agree with me. Races are not won on the racetrack. They're won in that shop and spending all that time. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, you can look at the car every night of the week and find some stuff here and there. You can overthink it sometimes as well. And Geary actually gets on to me a lot at the racetrack. I overthink about, well, let's make a change here. Let's watch the track here. He's like, hey, just drive the car. You worked on this week. And I said, yeah. It's all right. We're good. We're good. Now, it takes a lot of effort for sure.
Yeah, it takes a lot to make it back and forth to the racetrack. And one, the other thing is, man, to be competitive. And it's obvious that you spend a lot of time because, I mean, you're a front runner, that, and man, it just doesn't happen. You just don't start hitting the car and, hey, last time we were here, it was good. It'll be the same, it should be good. Don't touch anything. You can't do that,
Right.
And so you guys do a phenomenal job, and I know all of your sponsors. Thank you for giving them a special shout out. And ladies and gentlemen, we do have Donovan Jackson, also known as Action Jackson, who competed this weekend in the U.S. International Legends Dirt National Championship inside the Fayetteville Motor Speedway. And on behalf of the Voice of Victory Lane podcast, the Fayetteville Motor Speedway, and all the fans that are in this area, we were pulling for every one of our local guys. And, man, we just want to congratulate you one more time on a third place finish. One of the only guys in the state of North Carolina that even finished up that close. And so congratulations again.
I appreciate that. I can't thank Willie Ridenhour and his wife and their whole team and 316 Motorsports enough for giving me that opportunity. And it was a great experience for sure.
Yeah. Ridenhour had you in a good piece now. There ain't no doubt about that.
For sure.
All right, folks, we got Donovan Jackson on the show tonight. We're going to take a quick break and hear from our show sponsor, Raging Rooster Catering. And when we come back, we're going to talk about a little bit more in depth about Donovan Jackson, his racing career, and what's left on the schedule for him in 2022. We'll hear from our sponsor, and we'll be right back here on the Voice of Victory Lane podcast. Tonight's show is being sponsored by Raging Rooster Catering out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. We cater any event, big or small, weddings, holiday events, and festivals. Call us today, 910-237-4565. Follow us on Facebook at Raging Rooster Catering. We invite you to come get you some. All right, race fans, welcome back to another second part of another Inside Edition of Voice of Victory Lane podcast with Kip Thompson. Our special guest tonight is Donovan Jackson, driver the number 93 out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. We have already talked about a phenomenal weekend that he had this weekend inside the Fayetteville Motor Speedway, finishing third in the Pro division with the U.S. International INEX Legend Dirt National Championship. It was a great, great show for sure. If you missed it, man, shame on you. Man, it was a great, great show. So, Donovan, as we go to the second half of the show, let's talk about your 2022 season in your 602 modified. Man, you've had a great year there as well.
Yes, sir. It's been probably one of my best years of my racing career. I think I picked up 5 wins this year a few at Fayetteville, Sumter Speedway, one at Lakeview Speedway. It's been awesome. I can't thank all my sponsors and my friends and my family enough for supporting me as much as they have.
Well, not only have you, kind of, bounced back and forth like a ping pong there just a little bit, still rocking in the mod light and doing a heck of a job in the 602 Sport Mod. And like you said, 5 wins this year, which is absolutely awesome. But about midway through the year, man, you were given an opportunity with Ed Bellinger Motorsports and AJ and those guys. And, man, I know that that's got to be a big deal for you. And, when they had that car for sale, and for some reason, I don't know why somebody didn't, jump all over that car because, I think they had it at a good price or whatever. But maybe it was just meant to be just for you. And I think it was told to me that when Ed said, well, if nobody wants to buy it, we're going to race it. And who do you think we ought to put in it? And I agreed with AJ Bellinger when he was telling me that, driver's going to be Donovan Jackson. I said, not a better pick. not a better pick. I said, yeah, I think this guy will go in there and do a great job for you. And, AJ got on here and said, he complimented you before you even ever sat in the car, that he knew that you were a guy that would not bring drama to the racetrack. You're not going to tear somebody's stuff up, and you're going to give it your all. So I know that opportunity has to be, appreciated, but it's got to be a great feeling on your part as well.
Yes, it very much so. That's something I've been working for since I was a kid. It's a childhood dream when you want to be a race car driver. Better yet, drive for somebody, to put you in good equipment like that. And when they approached me, I was baffled. I mean, I was lost of words, and it's been a good time so far. I can't wait for next year to see what we can do.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, you won't find a better group of guys to drive for, a better group to be a team of, be a part of a team with Ed Bellinger Motorsports and AJ and Coy and all those guys. Man, they're just they're together like family too. And you're right, they're going to put you in a good ride. You're going to have good equipment, and we're looking for big things out of that team between you and AJ next year. AJ had a phenomenal year this year. I've seen AJ Bellinger grow so much in the last two years, year and a half, from getting out of that modified into that late model. His driving style has changed so much, and I don't know, maybe it's just because the wider base and the bigger tires all the way around the car that it maybe picks his confidence level up or whatever. But we're looking for great things out of both of you guys and that team in general for 2023. We wish you guys the best of luck in that as well.
I appreciate it. It's going to be a good time. I think we're going to get some good finishes next year, and hopefully the next race that we have over at Fayetteville Motor Speedway.
So talking about that, what is left for you guys with your modified car and with Ed Bellinger Motorsports? 2022, the season will wrap up on the Thanksgiving race, the Food Coma Comeback, which is also going to be, again, the Food Coma Comeback is the Michael Freeman Memorial Race for the Carolina Outlaw Super Street. Those guys will be there. What's left on the schedule after that? Is this going to wrap it up for you guys?
Yeah, that's probably more likely to be my last race of the season to try and regroup and get everything ready for next year. But I'm going to be full-time with Ed Bellinger Motorsports, AJ Bellinger Motorsports for the 2023 season. And I'm just going to run my car occasionally, but I have to commit to him. It's a huge opportunity for me, so be good.
Okay, so now I had AJ on the podcast the other night, and so I guess we've just heard our first, from anybody who's been on our podcast, our first official announcement for 2023. So this team will be together for sure in 2023.
Oh, yeah, we have some things to work out, but yes, we have a good plan ahead as of now, and it's only going to look better for us, I believe.
Well, man, that is awesome. And, I'm in a great position. I got one of the best seats in the house to watch you guys put it on there at the Fayetteville Motor Speedway. When you guys go to Lakeview or County Line or anywhere, look around, you'll see me at the racetrack. I'm always there watching. And, we're talking about one thing that I did not want to forget before we close out the show. We've congratulated you on a great year in the mod. We've congratulated you on being invited and joining the team with Ed Bellinger Motorsports. We have congratulated you on a phenomenal show this weekend inside the Fayetteville Motor Speedway. But, man, we almost forgot the most important one. We missed it last week. I probably sent you a little message on Facebook. But you and your little lady, 1 year anniversary, man. Congratulations. What was that, last week? What day was that?
November 6th.
November the 6th. Seems just like yesterday I was seeing wedding pictures, man. I can't believe you guys already been married for a full year.
Oh, yeah, time flies. I do want to shout out to Johnny Johnson, the Eco Advantage Motorsports. He's the one that gives me the opportunity to run his Mod Light when I have a chance over at Rockfish Speedway.
Hey, so what about this weekend for you? Are they running Mod Lights this weekend at the Winter Classic?
Oh, no, it's just going to be 270s, junior sprints Thursday night, but 270s for the rest of the weekend and 600cc sprints.
Well, I'm looking forward to Thursday night. I'm going to the junior sprint deal. This is the Super Bowl for them, man. $300 to win. And I think, if I'm correct, not only is it $300 to win, Bobby Jackson with Raging Rooster Catering has put up $100 for fast time. So It's going to be some big money for the kids, and I'm looking forward to it. I go down to Rockfish, and I just love the little junior sprint guys and gals. They do such a phenomenal job, and they put on a good show, and they have such great sportsmanship, amongst all of them. They're all buddies, outside walking around in driver suits on, and they all look like professionals, but they're fierce competitors, man, when they get on the track. So that's going to be a great show this weekend. You plan on going and watching?
Oh yeah, I'll be there helping my friends out. Maddie, racing Maddie. I'm gonna be there to help her out as much as I can, and Terrorizing Twins.
The Terrorizing Twins have already been, well, a lot of people don't know. Some people who may follow or have seen or may not have seen yet, but the Voice of Victory Lane podcast is doing a little small contest for the junior sprint race on Thursday night. Drivers cannot vote. It's only fans, car owners, crew members, but no drivers can vote. So I had about, I don't know, maybe 19, 20, 25 comments. The person who was the first one to pick the driver that would be declared the winner after they go through tech wins a free Voice of Victory Lane podcast t-shirt. So it's going to be a great show. Mr. Foster, the father of the Terrorizing Twins, he called the Terrorizing Twins, hold up, buddy, you can't do that. Only one twin can win. So he's made his pick, and you guys can go to our Facebook page, Voice of Victory Lane Podcast Facebook page, and you can see all the comments. And hey, if you want to get a name in the hat, and Donovan, I'm gonna let you go in there too. So now you got to go back and you got to pick somebody. You got to call a winner so you get your free T-shirt.
All right, I'll do it.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it's going to be a great weekend, and so we will see you back at the Fayetteville Motor Speedway on November 26th to wrap up. You pulled double duty that weekend, right?
More than likely. I still got to do some stuff to my car. I had some issues with the motor at the last race, but I should have the bugs worked out for that race.
Well, man, we wish you the best of luck. And again, we want to congratulate you on a phenomenal weekend this past weekend inside of Fayetteville Motor Speedway. We had a lot of local drivers there, and every one of the guys, anyone that races on a regular basis at the Fayetteville Motor Speedway, on behalf of the Voice of Victory Lane podcast and the Fayetteville Motor Speedway, man, we are so proud of all you guys, because you guys were right there running side by side, door to door with some of the greatest drivers in the country. And you guys, not only did you do it inside the Carolina Bull Ring at Fayetteville Motor Speedway, you guys represented North Carolina and Fayetteville, North Carolina in a way that we are very, very proud to say we know you guys.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, man, we thank you for taking time to be on the show, and maybe sometime next season we'll have you on here again talking about multiple wins and multiple cars. How about that?
Sounds good. I look forward to it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching tonight our special guest, Donovan Jackson, out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. For Donovan Jackson, I'm Kip Thompson, the voice of the Victory Lane podcast. And as we get ready to sign off, we want to thank our show sponsor, Raging Rooster Catering out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Tony and Bobby Jackson, proud supporter of our show, proud supporter of Donovan Jackson Racing. And you need to go to their Facebook page, Raging Rooster Catering, get all of their information with their email address and their telephone number. Call those guys today. Be sure to go to YouTube, to Voice of Victory Lane podcast, give it a share, give it a like, subscribe, and also like and share on our Facebook page. And we are just super excited to have Donovan Jackson on the show tonight. It was a great weekend. And hey, as always, as I close every show, I always tell you guys, be on the lookout. I could be coming to a racetrack near you, and you could be who we're talking about next on our show. Everyone, thanks for watching. Have a great week, and we'll be looking to see everyone at the big Winter Classic at the Rockfish Motor Speedway this weekend, starting off Thursday night with the junior sprints. And also, do not forget, November the 26th, Food Coma Comeback. Hey, Michael Freeman Memorial Race. The Carolina Outlaw Super Streets are going to be in the house. These guys are bringing a stud field of cars for this race. There's going to be some information about some possible lap sponsorships and getting some money up to get that purse up just to what it was last year, maybe even a little higher. Be sure to follow them on their Facebook page as they relay messages to me. I'll be promoting it here on our show as well. Again, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow night as we bring in Joey Chapman as we talk about the Carolina Clash Super Late Model Dirt Series with their big, huge season finale, $12,000 up for grab this weekend inside the Cherokee Speedway. Good night, everybody, and thanks for watching.